A great time to start.
Oh,
Hey,
Brian.
welcome everybody to Friday Night at the Crib. It's open mic. I put a link on the right-hand side in case anybody'd like to join us. The link appears to be working because Corey popped in and popped out. So feel free to join us. We're going to talk about bounty. We're going to talk about Herculean and the random nature of the. I'm sure we'll touch on the random nature of how many build tokens you're going to get. So I think you can get anywhere between 5 and 17, right? Yeah. So I'm sure a lot of people will find that enjoyable. And let me introduce everybody. Let's Magic Mike.
Hello, everyone.
Corey.
Good day.
Father George.
Good evening, everybody.
Dr. Death.
Hello.
Two Doors.
Woo!
And this is Hefe. So what should we start talking about first?
Did you say Thefe? You changed your name?
No, I said Hefe.
Oh, that's not what it sounded like.
Maybe it's something wrong with Brian's mic.
Oh, maybe.
It's a possibility. Should we start talking about bounty, even though it's basically what we saw last month?
No, it's even worse than that. I mean, it's PvE bounty.
Yeah. Well, the structure is the same, but the technology that we've been able to build and the number of people have been able to build since then has changed.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, like the top alliances are hitting. Like SDS 7's hitting bases. They have the stuff set up but everyone else is not. I mean, I've gotten peeked. I don't know how many times they see, the new gun and the hope, and they just turn around and like, yeah, screw this. And it's not. This is not what PvP bounty is supposed to be.
Yeah. But it's part of the whole. It's part of the whole state of the game as far as PvP is, though. It's just a microcosm of what's going on with PvP at this point, with the fact that they want to swing things so rapidly from one to another, and I don't think the Eviscerator or the Boulder Fist are going to swing things that much one way or the other, because they both have.
Weaknesses.
Yeah, weaknesses, which the King's Writ didn't really have one for a little while. And the hope, I think the Boulder Fist is getting, as we talked about in the Wednesday show, is supposed to be the hope killer, but with its weaknesses and proper placement inside the base, it's going to be a tricky base hit to actually get your Boulder Fist all the way to the hope. It does change how you're going to build your base. You're not going to want to lead with your hope, but yeah, it's interesting, and it'd just be nice if they just didn't swing things so rapidly from one side to another.
Well, PvP is fucked. I mean, we know PvP is fucked right now. What I just don't understand is how they got to this point where we're at such extremes every time something gets released. I mean, and I have a feeling like the King's Writ's going to end up being something like the Punisher, where they're going to be like, oh shit, we messed something up, because how do you come back from that without just absolutely making everything else scaled up for it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we saw that at the beginning because it didn't have any weaknesses. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do that. I mean, there's ways to stop it, but yeah, you're stopping. You just created this really large arms race, and we talked a little bit about it on Wednesday. As like, I don't even know what these numbers mean anymore, as far as the deflection numbers, because they've gotten so high. Now you have 100,000, and is 100,000 enough? And then you have to go and calculate, what's the max I can get out of this turret or this ship. It's not as obvious where everything's six figures. It's they made a mistake at that point. They should have they should have kept those numbers lower because they didn't really need to increase them that much. The way I saw it, they could have increased them. They could have figured it out on their side. Okay, what's the least amount this ship needs to overcome the deflection and the things that we want, as opposed to just putting out these crazy large numbers.
So as I who have the side job of, schooling kicks and professional game designers on the mathematics of their own game, I'm actually writing something about that. So I had some help from Ren. So that's going to be a thing.
By the way, the way it's swinging, within the next couple months, we're going to be seeing 10 million deflection on shit.
Pretty damn much. I think the reason. I think they want to. They do such drastic changes in order to completely eliminate the tier below it, such that it would be a requirement that you would buy the new thing. If they didn't, skilled enough players would be able to get into top bases with the year-old tech, so the actual best PvPers would be able to save money and not be subject to $100 swings every month, few weeks, things like that. And kicks can't have that because it's those whales and those PvPers that drive the game. So they have to make such grandiose sweeping changes and multiply the turret armor by 5 and all that sort of thing.
You don't think it's also part to sell the hulls? People see these crazy numbers, and they get all worked up, and they want to go out and spend coins in order to get it.
Yes, I definitely think that's the case.
Yeah,
because it'll beat everything that we've got. You said the King's Writ. That's a good example. It didn't have weaknesses until the Omega Gun came out. It looked fantastic, and it was for some amount of time. It's still used now, but I wonder how much it's going to be used when people start getting the Omega Cannon in their base and Tier 7 Conquerors come out, and what's that going to mean? So I think the King's Writ is. I feel like it's more approaching the.
Well, I don't think the Omega Gun killed it, because that didn't do anything if you had the bus. The thing that killed it was the Epic Cat mortars, the Hope, and then the properly built Conqueror sub, and that's what killed it. I mean, because you could just sit there all day with the Omega Gun, as long as you had a bus in there, and it wouldn't do anything to it.
Yeah, didn't the Writ come out before the Sloss got those buffs?
No.
Okay.
No, the Sloss had them, I think.
Yeah,
the Sloss always had them.
I claim no actual PvP knowledge. I'm bad at this game.
Okay, all right. Yeah, they were. Yeah, that wasn't what limited the capabilities of the King's Writ. It was the super criticals on the Epic Cats, and then the things I mentioned before. And the Hope was just a boom, shut the door on the King's Writ. You can't. Ye shall not pass.
Which, by the way, I've seen this coming up on forums. There's some people that are pushing kicks to limit the stacking ability of us, what we can put on buildings and how many times we can get stacks on our turrets. Around since we first were able to put these things on.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know that they're pushing it. I think the one that I saw anyway was an argument for why that's broken a lot of the stuff. And honestly, that argument was sound. Like that has pushed a lot of the escalation in the PvP area very high.
But this is a mechanic that has been in the game forever. We didn't have to start pushing that mechanic until they came out with these super high deflections. You could have done this. You could have done that 4 years ago with your base, but nobody did it because it wasn't needed. You know what I'm saying? You didn't need to do that to overcome the deflections to be able to stop a fleet.
Yeah, and it's after the fire support and fuel air emissions, they started putting aura caps on the newer stuff. They've seen this for a while. Aura cap of 5. I don't know because I haven't put my base together in such a way. But even that stuff, at least what was displayed in the game, ignored those aura caps. An example would be the splash dispersion ones, because I had splash dispersions over 100 in my base, and what are you getting, a 15% bonus and an aura cap of 5, and I had like 105. So I don't know if that was a display issue or because I was still taking splash damage. Because I don't know, have they fixed the fact that, I know they fixed it with ships, but have they fixed it with towers in the game that it's no longer additive? It's multiplicative for ships, but it's additive. Last I paid any attention, it was additive for the towers, at least as far as the way it's displayed in your base.
I can have that information in a few seconds for you once the game decides to load, but I don't think they changed it. Although if they did change it, they wouldn't tell us because they're not actually telling us anything anymore. Everything is fixed in a hotfix, and the 115s are the same.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I actually got some sort of response from when I posted on GDA's page, where he said he would take a look at that.
I mean, I understand why people are screaming that we need to have the cap, but this is a mechanic that's been in the game forever, and we didn't ever utilize stacking up like that until we were forced to. Went crazy with these.
Right, but the thing is when it was designed and implemented, I don't know if they ever intended for us to actually do that. So just to say that it was in the game forever is not a good argument to say, hey, it should stay that way. You know what I mean? It could go either way, but if the mechanic's broke, I would rather have them fix the mechanic than come in and try and build around it, because we saw how well they did that when we got the mud gluts. Rather than
if they come in now after we've all utilized this, you see what I'm saying? And they changed it up to where it
no, I understand that. What I'm saying is that if you go back to when we got the mud glut the first time, right? And everyone built them and we had them for a week or two. At that point, 2 weeks into it, we already have it. We're using it. Would you rather have had them fix the mud glut or do what they did and try and fix everything around it? I would much rather have had them fix the fucking mud glut instead of get us to where we are now.
Yeah, I think Dr. Death is also looking at another issue, not fixing the things around. It's the timing. It's sort of like glitch repairing. It's sort of like hacking. It's all this stuff where they've waited and waited and waited, especially the glitch repairing. They waited for years to fix it, and then they decide to fix it, and then everybody gets up in arms because people are, oh, I'm quitting. They got rid of glitch repairing. It was like,
Well, not only that, but if they all of a sudden capped the stacks, right, to where we're no longer able to do that, right, and say they decide on next Tuesday's update that they're going to change that mechanic and fix it, that's fine. Here's where the problem's going to run in. Every single Conqueror fleet out there is going to walk every top-end base because they're not going to be fixing the deflections on all these ships.
You're assuming that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the smarter way that they do it. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but if they do it that way, that would be brash and abrupt. If they release fire support 3 and fuel air emissions 3 and made them advantageous, but made them so they weighed too much to be put on one warehouse.
Yeah, then you have a problem with the next OP update then.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on it's still escalation, but it would be, I think it would be rude and you would get a lot of upset players if you just all of a sudden, I'm not even sure, we're arguing about, we don't really know what solution, like we're just going to get rid of stacking, or we're going to cap it at 5, or we're going to change the way that criticals are calculated. Because there's a lot of stuff that we don't even know about. Why does the epic cat work so well? I mean,
I would like to know how criticals are actually calculated. I would love to know that.
Yeah, because we ran the number. We were running the numbers when we first realized it was working, and it was like, this shouldn't be happening this way.
So I actually Look, I did that part is done. That math is done. You were talking earlier about cap marked criticals and King's Wit, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So doing the math, assuming nothing else in a pretty standard turret build, I came to a couple of conclusions that I came to were that you need 550,000 explosive damage in a single shot to break the deflection, splash damage reduction, and turret resistance of the turret. And then in order to do that, if you had a fuel tank 01X and you're the right faction and you've got the AT transformer, so basically a level 9 turret, the absolute best you can have, you would need a fire support platform. You need a total buff of 1,466%, which is obviously massively impossible.
Yeah,
so I think there's something to the crits do something funky with deflection theory. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think something's there.
Is it that, or are the crits calculated in a different way when you're stacking the bonuses to the...
like when are they calculated in the whole thing, or they're because there's a limit that you reach. It's not like you're, and it's not 1,000 and something, but it's like, it's close, right around 200, where all of a sudden you've gone from doing no damage to doing massive amounts of damage. And so it's, I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm sorry, can't help you.
Yeah,
but
that's part because we don't know. There's two factors in that one. We don't know when the criticals are calculated, and we're not exactly sure when splash dispersion or splash damage reduction is calculated either.
I think we know when splash damage reduction is calculated. It's calculated at the first step. Ren put out a giant half-hour-long video explaining damage reduction and defenses. I looked through that when I was writing this thing.
Wait, it's calculated when?
Before turret defense, and obviously before deflection. I think after charged armor charge, but that doesn't matter because you can never equip a charged armor to a PvP ship.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Okay, this was involving testing, or
I would assume that came before resistances, not before even turret defense. I mean, that's like the first, second, third step, something like that.
I skipped resistances. I skipped resistance and looking at that because it wasn't in the scope of what I was doing at the time.
Resistance is a last. I mean, if it's coming before, the deflection's the last. That's right.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
Then what's after deflection?
You have deflection, and then whatever's left after deflection goes into resistances to get you final damage.
Yeah, I'm looking merely in the context of PvP. You can't have PvP resistances unless you're on the Revenge, and then you're beyond help.
Okay. It's still the same order of operations.
Yeah, but I didn't care because you'd never have resist. I didn't even bother to calculate that. For PvP, you would never have resistances because of the defense handicap. So I didn't consider that.
I'll have to puzzle through it a little bit.
I can try to find the video again.
I'm just gonna try and find out. I'm too lazy to try and figure it out.
But no matter whatever Kickside decides to do to fix this problem, if they change one aspect of the game, they're going to have to change the other aspect, because otherwise it's just going to be out of balance again. It's just going to swing.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem that we have is PvP is fucked because they've fucked that up. That's the part that they've screwed. There's no balance. They can't figure that crap out. Instead of incremental increases, they do, hey, you know what? Let's just jump up about 2 flights of stairs instead. Yeah, that's bright.
They're jumping down 2 flights of stairs, feels like some nights.
No, that's us. They're throwing us down the stairs.
That is not wrong. Yeah, and that's one of the things. Both PvP and PvE at this point are massively complex sets of systems. In PvP, I don't think that the staff has the capability to balance everything at once. You know, between turnover rate and the new guy coming in and learning, like for them to learn PvP systems, I don't think that they can actually teach those systems.
Hey, they said that they were really good at PvP, right?
Yeah, they said our build sucked too, and then they gave us an illegal build.
That's true.
They said the monolith was good.
They said the gridiron was good.
Ah.
I'm just saying. Yeah,
Wow.
but on that
Assault
note,
Fest died out. Okay.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say I was gonna bring it back to bounty for a sec for the PvP thing, and like one of the things that has been an ongoing issue, and they keep on saying that they don't want it to become a PvE event, right? It shouldn't be another raid. That's exactly what it is right now.
Oh yeah.
The only battling that's going on right now are around the Nexus points, the golden Nexus stuff.
And that's only the only battling being done by that's only by the what 5 or 6 biggest alliances in the game.
There are only 3 alliances in my world that have a Nexus, and one of them has 3 of them.
Yeah. I mean, they've got the Nexus is completely broken bounty because that's limited to what the top 1% of alliances.
It's probably even smaller of a number than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
I mean, in practice, I don't necessarily have a problem with that unless they adjust the prices such that you would need that amount, or that the amount is excessive. And 6,000,
Dude,
6,000 bounty plus the drips.
Yeah, but Ren said that he got a third of his bounty from that. That's a lot of bounty.
It is.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's because it's what 2,000 for the first and 4,000 for the second, or something like that.
I have no idea.
Plus the drips.
Yep. Plus the.
So yeah, that's
25 every hour.
Yeah, so you could easily get, most of the way to, about 7,000, 7,500, you reckon? Is that a fair estimate? Game?
Oh, easily.
8,000? I don't know.
And then you got to think though, if you got one alliance holding 3 Nexuses, now they're getting the 2,000 and 4,000 3 times, plus they're getting the drip 3 times.
See, this is why I don't do this math, because it frightens me.
You know,
yeah,
so
no,
now,
that's right.
6 times
Now
3,
we
there's
have to shift.
18,000 plus the drip. 75 an hour. So there's another, what, 2,500 a day? So there's another 10,000 over 4 days. So shit, they've just won the top hole just by sitting on the Nexuses. I mean, that's broke. That it shouldn't be that way. They should have it limited to where you can only hold 1. Or they should put smaller Nexuses out to let more players engage in that part of the game.
Man, look, let's be honest. If they're going to have a PvP fucking event, then fix fucking PvP where you don't need to do any of this shit. There won't be any map targets. There won't be anything else. You'll be able to actually PvP and get bounty. But unless you balance PvP and make it so that, if you're going to have people being able to hit 50s, then you got to make sure that the balance is such that you're not going to have like a tiered system as bad as it is right now. Right now, it is exceptionally tiered, and it's not good for PvP. And you're not going to be able to have a success in bounty without fixing these issues. That's the only way you're going to have success in bounty. No one wants to friggin' come in and run bounty and have to blow crazy money just to try and get it. I'm telling you, I want to see. I challenge Kixeye to do a PvP weekend where they go free base defense repair, free base repair, and 2 gold to repair any Conqueror fleet on the map. And you will see real PvP going on if we have like bases that can actually be broken without having 2 things in them.
Yeah, I mean, you brought it up at one point. I was always surprised when they have these basically Conqueror-only armor plates. and they kept basically the old repair efficiencies.
Yeah, that was asinine.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
no sense.
Yeah, I didn't understand that one a bit. Because it's not going to screw with their PvE game, and you've gone with a ship that's a 3-hour repair, and now it's 3 hours. So,
That's why I don't put any armor plates on my defender hulls.
But
I
they
don't want
want
to repair.
Yeah, but they want PvP to come back, and they want people to have fun. And you know what? You guys have been not getting it right. Just look at what happened. It was right in 2016 was the closest it's been right in a very long time. It was an exceptionally good year overall, except for the last month-ish. But man, that was actually pretty good. It wasn't perfect by any means, but it was pretty good in terms of balance. And then we got 2017, and everything was just like, hey, let's go down the block over here. We're going to swing all the way over here, and then, guess what? We're going to go on the opposite side. What the hell?
but as far as what we were talking about before, they were still releasing armor plates for Conqueror and Defender only armor plates, damage-based deflection armor plates.
In
Even
2016?
before this.
In 2016, yeah, they
Yeah.
were, but it made sense then because that actually was still a thing. You still could do. There was still resistances in PvP. It was a different thing when they started switching the stuff into the very last month of 2016 and beginning into the first quarter of 2017. That's when it went to shit.
Yeah. But I'm saying they had those. They had like what I'm saying, they had those plates. I'm not talking about the resistance plates. I'm talking about the deflection plates.
Yeah, I know.
Those were getting released in 2016 with the crazy repair efficiencies.
Yes, it was PvP was a completely different thing back then.
I should put Pat Cannon 2 in FMs, and then we can all put them on as wolves and have a wolf palooza with no cannons.
Okay. There is a discussion in chat that I wanted to get to, unless I'm not sure if we're done with this Conqueror.
No, jump to it. We can always jump back. It's open mic. We can do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah, because I was going to bring this up earlier. Now that we're getting the TLC at this point for the skill hall, what is everybody doing with their Buccaneer? And how far are you going to take the Buccaneer for the next raid? Because, we know with the build times that basically we could be building the Buccaneers and fill, up to this coming raid, but the following raid, and still not have them, and then have them about right, have them about complete. How far are you planning to go, and what is your strategy with the Buccaneer right now as far as competing in the first raid? I know that we haven't really seen the target. Personally, what I'm doing is I'm concentrating. I'm not building my Buccaneers in such a way that I'm planning to have 4 done at the same time. I'm planning to have, probably 2 done at the same time. I'm concentrating on getting 1 ship at a time ready to go into the raid, as opposed to having 4 that are half built, and giving me the opportunity to transition over to the Hydra at some point for the following raid.
I'm going something similar to that. I am going to be doing mostly I have 2 of them that are done with all specials and are missing 2 weapons and 3 armor slots. The third one, I am, after seeing these 120s on the map, I'm actually going to change the build a little bit, and I'm going to have frontline countermeasure on that and 2 or 3 phalanxes. And then I'm going to go back, finish all 3 of those, and then hit my 4th one. Okay.
But in the meantime, you're probably, with 3 days? Well, it depends how many build tokens you get. If you get 17 build tokens, it's not going to take you a lot of time to put out some blank Hydras for the next VXP weekend. But at what point do you stop and say, oh, okay, I want to have, because that's why
I'm completing, it's a 4-month cycle. I am completing 1 fleet and then going to the next fleet. I'm not going to be jumping back and forth between the 2, because that's just like with PvP. That's how you get fucked, and you're like, oh, guess what? My fleet's just not ready, and it's by the time it's ready, it's worthless. So
Yeah, I mean,
And remember, we'll start seeing escalation prizes.
yeah, because that's what I did with my Cannoneers, and I think a lot of people did with the Cannoneers because we got our ironclads first, right? Otherwise, I don't know why I have 2 built. I have 2 ironclads built, and that's it.
no, we got the Cannoneer first.
We got the Cannoneer first. We got the gun and such in that offer.
Yeah, you probably did the ironclads when you got the tokens and stuff, just for shits and giggles. I mean,
Okay.
I use the hell out of mine. I like my ironclad's like one of some of my favorite ones right now. For now, until they change certain map targets, but I'm walking through shit with like 11 seconds of damage. I'm loving it.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, because yeah, I don't know. I just don't, the way it looks, it just doesn't, I mean, I guess it's going to be easier to drive. I mean, because it's obviously going to run into stuff. Just by the range difference between that and the Hydra. I don't know. Again, I'm still surprised we haven't seen the target at all. So anybody can make an educated guess on what they want to do. Because at this point in time this is when people need to know.
Well, those 120s and things, I mean, that's Legion, right? And that's not making me happy from what I saw in there. I did not like some of the stuff in there.
It can't be a siege preview with all those ships.
It's split siege and skirmish. I'm
and garrison
concentrating.
target.
Yeah,
And garrison target.
I'm concentrating on the siege part.
I'm throwing salt at them over changing the 115s to those stupid Zoes. But carry on.
Oh, hey, I mean, if we want to talk about the 115 change, that they changed it to make our playing experience better.
I'm gonna let you finish.
No, I am not thrilled with that one at all. I mean, the 2 Zealous fleet, with the staggered ranges and all that shit, it works perfect still. I can stack and drive like a complete ass and still walk through it with 0 damage. But man, I had an ironclad build that I was testing stuff with, so I know for sure, like before they did the change, when I stopped testing it, it was doing about an hour of damage really consistently, like within 3 minutes either way, no matter what I was doing in the target. And I took it out the other day, and it was like 3.5-ish hour damage from one target. I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
What target?
The 115.
Yeah.
Icebreakers are just fucked in that target now. And honestly,
Yeah,
a lot of the
definitely.
Zealous, a lot of the two, like a lot of people were building dual Zealous fleets, like 2 Zealous fleets, but not doing like a staggered set, or they weren't putting projectile speed on it and stuff, and they're starting to take damage now, and they're like, I'm running 2 Zealous, why am I getting damage? Nah, I don't know what they changed. I don't know if they're tweaking it. I don't know if they had a specific build in mind when they were adjusting it or trying to compensate for certain things, but yeah, that's a mess. Like, I don't know why that was changed and then not announced at all. It had to
They're
come
denying it.
through the... No, it finally came through the grapevine. CS said, oh yeah, it was changed.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
the mods are still in the forums. The mods are still saying that nothing was changed.
Yeah,
Mods did
know.
see it, I'm sorry.
I've talked to 2 mods in the last 24 hours. For certainty, they have said the same thing.
No, I can read one ticket. There was the ticket that Big Cat put up on TFC, and then
Put it up.
Grey Wolf sent me another one. I haven't put into slides, but there's the Big Cat one, which everybody can see on the TFC page, and then I got another one. This is in response to he went to taking no damage to 30 minutes of damage into 115. Thanks for writing in your game concern, or hi Captain. Thanks for writing in your game concern. We will always listen to player feedback. The outcome of combat depends on the strategies and the gameplay of the players in relation to the attack and the particular fleet used. The game has, and this is in bold, the game has a non-repetitive AI, and the game do not enact the same defense in the missions and campaigns, which would be too obvious for determining the gameplay.
What?
Yes. To bring the game to a level of a wait. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. I mean, it's all very flowery. The game design team implements changes and challenges accordingly. When you outsmart these campaigns, events, missions, you are outsmarting some of the best strategies that could possibly be in the gaming world.
I'm sorry. I couldn't.
If you're looking for some tips to help get past these bases, players have been sharing them in the game forum and publicly in the YouTube. Also, please, in the YouTube, which is like, wow.
Which is blocks left of the Snapchat.
Also, please make more valuable feedback. Reach us through discussions in the forums at certain and
who the hell was this? Like, that is the worst thing I have ever heard. I want to see a picture. Send me a picture of that bullshit.
When did this become a comedy show?
What the hell?
I have added 3 times 5-hour fleet repair tokens to help you out in the game. Have a good day, Captain. Thank you. I mean, this was like, this was high comedy. I mean, that was the one that Big Cat got was, yeah, that was a little bit more straightforward, but not nearly as this one was funny. Yeah.
What the?
So they're the best, the best strategic minds in the gaming world or whatever.
You are outsmart. When you outsmart these campaigns, events, missions, you are outsmarting some of the best strategies that could possibly be in the gaming world.
Dude, I want whatever crack they are smoking. Holy shit.
I think this is the point where us as people who have frequently outsmarted them should ask Kixeye to hire us. But with the way this is trending, they're going to be, you know, out of business or have to make cuts soon. So then we'd immediately go back to, you know, not having a job.
Yeah, well, and Brian works for $7 a day or mixed fried rice, the chef's special fried rice, once a day, and he'll work for you all day, right, Brian?
Not anymore.
You buy half an hour with the fried rice at the rate that you would be thinking of.
Okay, all righty.
I'm a high class mathematician.
Okay, all righty. Okay. Now that we got
thing I got out of that though was the fact that they're admitting that they are making changes to targets in game during game time without telling us, which is what we've been accusing them of for the last how many years of doing it during the raid.
That's what you got out of it? I got out of, like, someone needs to go to school for some freaking English lessons. I mean, dude, that's your customer service. That is the people that. What the hell?
Hey, George.
Yeah, no shit.
But wasn't the FM not supposed to change until March?
Right.
Well,
I thought it was July.
Yes, it was not supposed to change. But here we are.
Surprise, motherfuckers!
So it's changed.
So how soon are they going to yank the 111s?
They're going to do it on a random Tuesday without any notification to the player base at all.
And then tell us and have the mods tell us it didn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, the 111s are out there. They just have a difference. They changed the spawning rate.
Spawning rate is now 0.
Sort of what they did to the Bullseye Brigade. The spawning rate's just merely been tweaked. If you try hard enough, you'll find them.
They now spawn in the daily deals tab for 72 coins.
Yes, exactly. Oh my. But yeah, I mean, it's sort of opening a Pandora's box when they're allowed to change the FM targets, which is always an amusing thing to watch. Every week in the forums, you know, the new FM will come out and like they upped the damage. It almost became a joke, you know. And I was like, to the point where when it happened to me, because I only had one Zelos going, and it happened to me, and I'm like, wow, I usually do this for instant repair. Now it's like 25 minutes. I must be screwing up. And then I did it again. And now it's like 20 minutes. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And yeah, because I didn't want to be one of those people in the forums that was calling it every week, and then other people started doing it. But it was, it was the same thread that popped up again and again, and it was like, okay, it's the same thread, but I mean, I changed my fleet, and now I'm back down to instant repair. But yeah, it was sort of like a gaslighting thing that was going on.
Are you running a 2 Zelos fleet?
Yeah, but the second Zelos has got speed system 6 and 4. What's the new countermeasure? The sprint, and that's all it's got on it. And I went from taking a half an hour damage, and then I swapped out a monolith and put a monolith that had a countermeasure monolith and threw that in, and I went from a half an hour down to 0 damage.
Huh, interesting. Mine, I haven't seen a single damn change. Still
because you were running 2 Zelos the whole time.
I was running two Zelos and with the stagger.
But I was running one. I was running 1, and then I changed it to 2.
Oh, gotcha.
And that's when I went from a half an hour down to no repair. But what I'm saying, this Zelos I threw in is no shakes. I mean, it has no armor. It has 1 special, 4 weapons, and that made a huge difference. I'm not even sure if I needed to have 4 antis. I'm not even sure I needed the antis. Just throwing the Zelos in there appeared to make the difference. I'm assuming it's the duality countermeasures that's really changing things, and I'm assuming what they
it's
did.
The duality. Well, I think it's the duality and that stacking, because we talked about the stacking.
Yeah.
Before, I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they just upped the flak evasion on stuff, and that's what changed things.
I don't know.
But,
I mean,
there's different things they could do.
Yeah, the consequence was not good.
Yeah,
not at all.
Mine's 2 Zelos and 3 monos, and I did not see a difference.
Yeah, me too.
Fortunately.
Well, but again,
Ren's trolling us in the YouTubes.
Is he?
Oh, is he?
What's it? Well, how's he trolling us?
These guys on the show still talking about FM changes. We all know they didn't change.
Yeah, they didn't change at all.
Yes.
Is he the
damage was not up in the 57 Reaver Armadas.
Is he training to be the next mod? I'm just curious.
The damage was not up in the 57 Reaver Armadas.
Dude, I have that on video. I still love that video. I still love the fact.
I know. I'm just running the throwback trails all day.
I'm loving the fact that
you photoshopped that video.
Yeah, man, I love that. That was the accusation.
You photoshopped that video. It is on the YouTube.
I edited that video. So that, I doctored the video. That's what it was. That was awesome.
And from now on, after that response from CS, which Brian picked up on, we're only allowed to call it the YouTube.
The YouTube.
The YouTube, yes. The needs to be emphasized whenever it's said.
It's on the YouTube, where you can find the Ren on the YouTube.
Yes.
I want to find your the video. That's going to be too much fun. Damn it.
Yeah, they have maybe they've changed where they outsourced it to. Maybe they outsourced it to some retirement home.
I don't know, man.
Some nerve. Yeah, the interwebs and the YouTube and the Netflix.
I will give you 10 gold if you get off my lawn.
Yes. Oh.
I mean, seriously, man.
That was the best thing I've heard in a while.
The YouTube.
Well, the whole thing was like, I've never seen language like that come out of CS before.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, hey, you can play Battle Pirates on the Facebook. Yeah. I mean.
and you defeated some of the best strategy in the gaming industry in the world. You know, that's that kind of stuff. It was like,
That was, oh, that is the highlight. Oh, actually, no, this is a perfect tangent into strategic uncertainty. Extra credits to the video, no, I just watched it back. And what's discussed in that video is keeping strategy games fresh so that players don't get bored. Although that video was in the context of civilization games, which are obviously very different. It makes good points about having to change things up to make it so that after a certain point, after you've kind of looked at the map and figured out most of the unknowns, that you can just win. And Battle Pirates does that a lot by changing up their targets. Every year they change it so that you need something new and different. But the problem with things like this is what you need to be able to do in order to counteract the change versus the speed and I guess just the surprise factor of that change. Like, you'd have to build a second Zelos, which is over 2 weeks, and get it skulled or highly ranked, which is not the easiest thing in the world, all in an instant because that change was never brought about and never mentioned anywhere. It's not like we could respond to this.
And you got to do it while you're building your 2 fleets for the raid.
Oh yeah, maybe you can shoehorn that in when you're building your FM fleet for March. But yeah, things like that don't make the game fun. They make the game feel, frustrating and like you didn't have a chance as a player. It just randomly somebody somewhere rolled a d20 and you lose, which actually feels a lot like what they're doing with these now siege chests. They were skirmish chests when the hunter was the hunter campaign was out. I don't know the spread. Sorry, what?
Do well. And then you get accused of gaming or hacking. Gaming the target.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Gaming the target. That was. I still remember that rant from the professor back in the day.
This warns you, Brian. This warns you.
Oh no, that was years ahead of its time. It was talking about the Reavers back in July of 2013, something like that. It was a real long time ago where in the middle of the raid, the target got a massive increase in armor and the ship positions were changed and all these sorts of things are happening. And people were denying it at the time, but the data mining was showing something different. And eventually, I believe Doom Rooster was the CM at the time. That is like, in order to stop people gaming the target, we did the thing. Sorry, what?
Yeah, it was when he first came on. He said that the thing is, the way he wrote it, it sounded like they were saying that we were doing it to like cheat, and it wasn't a cheat. We were using the what's the thing that we used to put the Monarch to drag fleets along, and we were getting 0 damage in the S targets. Well, that ain't gaming the target. That's figuring out the fucking target and doing good in the game. Strategy, bitch.
Yeah, that is
fucked everyone else.
That's cheating in the same way that card counting is cheating. It's not. You're using your brain and you're using enhanced intelligence and specific techniques to determine chances of winning and play accordingly. And if you do everything well, and in card counting's case, you get a little lucky, but the odds shift in your favor, you'll be able to do well based on the strategy that you use in a strategy game.
That doesn't include the card counting equipment.
Oh yeah, no. That is actually cheating. Like if you,
No, and the thing,
but that's different.
Yeah, and I actually want to kind of go on a little tangent here too. Like if we figure something out, if the community figures something out, or you guys design something like wrong, or you mess up, fucking suck it up for a month. Okay, it's you boned it. Suck it up for a month. Like Bounty. Yesterday there was so many of those hundreds that came out. Everyone was freaking whacking the hundreds. Well, if you weren't on, you got boned. Today we've had one spawn with one thing on a tower. I didn't get any of them. I'm like, you know what? You guys screwed up the thing. You obviously were going to need them because you're not hitting any of the top bases. So why are you totally throttling down the PvE targets to shit when they were, you know, everywhere yesterday. That's kind of crappy.
You got to give them thumbs up though for not changing the 85, because I thought when it was first videoed on first month at the raid that they'd have shut that down, but they didn't. They kept that going. The wall and the hole in the piss pool. If you know what I mean. I thought they'd have shut that one down, but they never did.
What are we talking about?
The hole in the wall in the 85 and the hole in the piss pool and the see-through, or what, swim through, whatever you want to call it, drive through wall in the 85s.
The siege targets.
Oh, the one that fucks the hunters that are on auto.
Yeah, we could get
that's not a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing if you're gonna sit there and drive. I mean, I can take my fangs and go through it and drive right through the cloud and hit the back of the gluts. That's great, but shit, if you're autoing it with the hunters like you were supposed to, you lost your fucking fleet.
Mm.
Again, shows how poor their you know, balancing of these targets for everything is.
General quality control.
General quality control.
I had a good laugh when it's when your fang teeth started the S target in the cloud and you took damage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how quickly that was fixed. That never should have happened in the first place. Like, how do you fuck that up?
Yeah, how exactly did that get out? I mean, what?
Auto route plotting.
No. That's not even that. That's where you start. Like, they had to have not tested that, and somehow a cloud had to have gotten in there. Like, they used a different map asset or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how some of this stuff happens, but I mean, some of the stuff's got to change. There's only so much, you know, I can see someone going, okay, well, we're going to maybe not pay too much attention to glitches unless they're really, you know, excessive or whatever. But the thing is you can do that only for so long until it gets to the point where it just becomes like, okay, which one's going to be the straw that broke the camel's back? Because customers are going to be like, okay, well, maybe we might be able to overlook this, or maybe we might be able to overlook that. But when it gets to being a lot of them, it's like, you know, getting nickel and dimed in the last raid for the uranium and the titanium. That was bullshit. I don't want to get nickel and dimed in the fucking game. You're already nickel and dimed me in everything else. You're trying to monetize the fuck out of the FM. You're trying to monetize the fuck out of uranium and titanium and shit during the raid. And it's a fucking stupid thing because it's something that you guys created on your own. And now you're trying to monetize fucking PvP and you're doing a fucking bang up shitty job of it.
And when they pulled out the Man of War from raid, that sucked as well.
That's part of monetizing. Yep. That's part of monetizing, you know, uranium and titanium and shit like that.
Yeah, I just got back from emergency meeting of the BPC. You know, then since TFC did such a, you know, they did their banner competition. We decided we need to have a banner that includes as seen on the YouTube.
As seen on the YouTube.
Yes, the YouTube. It doesn't have to be as seen as, or, you know, famous on the YouTube, or it just needs to include a couple of words and then the YouTube as far as your banner submissions. So
if you
just throwing that out there.
If you include Hefe's junk on that banner, you automatically win.
Yeah.
All it cost you was your dignity and some nightmares. So just weigh that.
The nightmares are a little telling, Brian. I'm not sure what's going on there.
So let's talk about this new TLC. How many people are upset you got to have both fleets to do it?
Yeah,
to complete it, yeah. I mean, that we all knew it was coming, but Joe Schmo that never checks the forums or has pattern recognition or is a recent returning player, they didn't know.
It's kind of a low blow.
It really is.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten far in that campaign. Is there some sort of indicator as you reach the later targets that you need a specific fleet for it?
I did one mastery round.
Okay.
Does it tell you?
Well, the very last one, you have to have hunters.
But does it tell you in like that little flavor text?
In the window.
I read it somewhere.
No.
Forums, but
We've read it. We've read it on the forums multiple times.
Well, let me
by
double check.
multiple mods.
Let me see.
But I'm just wondering, does the splash page that comes up and says, start combat or whatever, does that indicate what the target needs, what you need to bring to
Well,
this
if I
target?
activate it here, it just says skirmish recommended. Skirmish fleets recommended.
I think
No, I'm talking about
No,
like
no.
when you actually enter, like once you actually are the last button before you enter the target.
Oh,
The last page, right before you push that button.
when you
it
hit
normally
number 7 or 8 or
flavor
whatever it
text
is.
at the bottom.
Yeah, the last one.
I didn't pay attention to that. I just noticed
Okay.
when I went in there that it was the wrong target, so I brought the other ones in.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you knew based on what you'd seen before
Because
that
it's from
it was the
raid.
wrong target,
Yeah,
because
it's a raid target.
Yeah,
the problem that I could potentially see with people is if you bring the wrong target in, if you bring the wrong fleet in to a target, you're gonna get about
Dead.
15 seconds into that and have a 12-hour repair
Yeah.
Definitely.
because they're
No
not
question.
notifying you.
Yep, no question.
So yeah, if anybody in chat or has done that and has paid attention to what's going on, because I think it also happens in prize packs. Okay, Ren says there's no
It's
warning.
only in a mastery.
Oh.
It's only the very last mastery that you need the hunters.
Oh, that's dirty.
Yeah.
Well,
not,
I think-
not the good kind
well,
of dirty.
they did it. They did it with the TLC that had that needed the Skyfire on the
Yep.
last one.
Yeah, that's true too.
Although that one you could pull it off with the Phoenixes.
Yeah, that required great skill, but it was doable.
This
This
one I
isn't
don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I
No,
haven't seen it.
it's not doable. If you go into those 100,
Your subs in the last hit of the mastery round, they are dead within 3 seconds. As soon as you hit the
Oh,
first,
lovely.
you're gone.
That's
And for me-
fantastic.
For me,
I did
was-
see.
Go.
I was saying I did see that Ren had tried the because the splash screen says that you can use Tide Seekers, and Ren tried to do the with the Tide Seekers, and he was like he did 1 and 2 okay, and then he went into 3 and it was just like fucking disaster. I was like, oh, that's just dirty, man. Yeah, I'm not liking some of the ways that they're handling some of these things.
But
But
I'll tell you, I don't like the freaking random drop chest. That's just bullshit.
yeah, that's bullshit too. I really dislike that. And we've told them that for months now, and I don't think they really give a crap. They've ignored us. If anyone's curious about seeing I don't know if he actually did the Tide Seeker video, but he has a video of the TLC, right? You can find the Ren with his video on the YouTube. There's the YouTube. I'm going to push that all night long now, the YouTube, man.
That's going to be like the new This Warn You. We're just going to bring that up.
Yep. The YouTube.
Yeah, I just got sent this. This is the pop-up that we were given.
So he calls it. So CS called it the YouTube, but CS has like they're given a computer to work with.
Dude, can you even use the Hellwraith in any of those damn targets?
I don't imagine so. The range is short. You're at 88.
I mean, what the hell?
Maybe if you have a Magnus, they might not see you, but I wouldn't recommend it.
So, just throwing that out there.
That's
Well, maybe they figure they got some suckers out there that are willing to coin the fleet after every ship dies.
I mean,
Kill
that's
one
their,
time,
that's their
coin the
business
fleet,
model.
kill another ship, coin the fleet. You know, maybe
No,
that's
that-
what guys shooting for.
what
You-
I have no
You may or may
problem.
not be joking, but I think that is seriously what they think in that boardroom. Wait, no, it's okay. Because these are the best strategic minds in the gaming world.
Yeah.
They
You
said
know-
you can do this. It's going to be okay.
For them to actually have players like stay and continue playing in the game, right? Like if they're putting the hull first, right? Why not make the first level of that TLC doable with fucking Tide Seekers and Hellwraiths? because you have the hull, but now you're gonna have to use old weapons if you can't do the second one, right? Like, tune these things. It's not that difficult to think through this and tune it, and you'd actually be able to monetize a bunch of this better than what it is now. Because now all you're doing is closing people out of it.
Yeah,
and they're not going to want to play. They're going to be like, fuck this.
Yeah, it's that nice step that really doesn't seem to exist without, I don't know, a lot of money or help from a merc, where you come in and you get last year's stuff and this year's targets, and you can't get ahead. But that would solve the problem. Now you can get tier 7 stuff with last year's tech.
Equipment.
Like, it'll work, and then you'll have a reason to keep playing.
Yeah, I mean, like that's like a dull thing to me.
I understand, and have asked people.
I posted a thing on forums here. God, what, 3-4 months ago, that I feel that Kixeye has fallen into a bad circle. And the bottom line is they keep trying to push more ways to get us to coin because they're losing so many of the heavy coiners. So they're trying to compensate for that lost income. And, of course, the more they try and push, the more people walk away. And so they got to try and push even harder, and then more people walk away. And they've just gotten themselves into a vicious fucking cycle.
Santana's still there.
I think that some of the game designers and devs, they're aware of the turnover rate in the gaming industry, and they want to make player turnover rate as bad as the turnover rate that they themselves experience. It is a weird, very spiteful thing.
Okay.
You're saying that Kixeye is taking advice from EA?
I think they're doing a little worse on that than EA. I don't think you can beat EA right now.
Okay. Run through a lot of issues. There's a couple of people that have been quiet that talk on things from now and again. Rum, do you have you want to air any grievances?
No, I've been too brutal. They've called me out on the forum.
They called you out on the forums?
Yeah, they.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they did. So I've been too negative, and nobody likes it.
On which forums? On the
Oh, it was somebody did a reply on the TFC.
Oh, on the TFC, not the forums. Okay.
No, not this one.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just going to be a happy little Kixeye Pratt and think, man, they're doing a great job, and we all really enjoy the screwing we get.
I mean, that individual, I'm sure, is welcome to come on open mics and share their thoughts and points. Or there's the whole, someone on the internet doesn't like me and I don't give a shit. There's that.
Exactly. There's that.
I like that.
How is everybody?
Yeah, we do. We invite anybody that's pro Kixeye and wants to come on here and blow butterflies up their ass. Go right ahead.
I mean, we do praise Kixeye on occasion when they do things right.
Yeah, when they do it right.
Things that we see is right.
I think that happened in 2015.
Dr.
Yeah,
Death,
that's true.
Was that a challenge to find an animated GIF of that?
Yeah.
He found the GIF. He found it on the YouTube.
Yeah, it was on the YouTube. But yeah. Okay, just checking.
No, I mean, this year there's been some good things that Kixeye's done, and I can't say they haven't, But overall, monumentally, the game has just stuck this year. The few good things they did does not outweigh the crap that they've thrown at us.
What just happened to the Golden Nexus?
I don't know. They disappeared.
I just clicked on the button. There's none in my world. Huh. That's interesting.
Nope.
That's funny.
Oh, as far as blowing butterflies up asses, somebody's bringing up the expeditions. I mean, I need to go get another drink. So, George, you want to talk about how wonderful the expeditions are again? You got like a 3-minute window.
Oh yeah, because I don't know why everyone thinks I said that they were fantastic. I just said what they are what they are. I mean, Christ sakes.
Yep.
Fucking hell.
It's a
Just
good
letting
way
you
to
know.
have a hidden face guard.
Yeah, did they not fix that yet? Is that
I
still?
got hit and lost my fleet the other day, so I don't know if they fixed it yet or not.
Well, you don't lose your fleet. It should still be in the expedition.
Well, no, it docked my fleet for me. After my base got hit, my fleet came back and dumped off early, 12 hours after I had launched it, and just dumped it and was in my dock fully repaired. It was fully repaired, but it ended my expedition.
Well, that's one hell of a base guard. Damn. I might have to
It's a good
figure
way
that
to
one
have a
out.
hidden base guard.
Yeah.
I would say, well, one of my friends was hitting the expedition the other day, and he got his base hit, and it came on that he were hitting that fleet as like a base guard. Yeah, I was going to say that myself. So any expedition fleet becomes your base guard.
So I just checked the briefing, and the first round of golden Nexus's Nexi should have actually respawned a few minutes ago.
Right, but they also should have paid something out too, and they did not.
They did.
No, they didn't.
The Nexus
got
expiration
2,000.
bonus will be 2,000 bounty. You must
I got
log in and
2,000
claim
bounty
this.
for each one.
What the fuck?
I was sitting on one. I didn't get anything. Maybe I have to refresh.
Maybe I have to
Claim it.
refresh.
You have
Okay,
to claim it.
someone
Claim it
can't.
where? Hold on. Where do I claim it then?
Whenever the golden Nexus box was up, you'll see that the ones that we hold are a different color. You click on them when you're on the outside map, and it says you.
Oh, yeah.
2,000
Well,
Nexus.
That's fine, but if it disappears before you get on, how do you claim it? Because there's nothing in there.
Well, that's a question you're going to have to ask.
Yeah.
The
No,
first set-
I claimed mine as soon as I walked in the door, and it was there, George, because I just got it.
The first set will last from Thursday 12/28 10 a.m. to Friday 12/29 at 3 p.m. The next expiration bonus will be 2,000 bounty. You must log in and claim this bonus on Friday. And literally from the briefing, it says Friday 12/1, December 1st, from 3 p.m. to 4:55 p.m. PST. So they need a calendar. I'm pretty sure they can find one on the YouTube.
Check the YouTube.
Check the YouTube. So if we assume that to be today, which I think makes some sense, then your window is passed, and I think you're boned.
Because I went out there and got it just as soon as I walked in the door.
That
Not
was
knowing
the one
it
from
was-
earlier, though, was it not? I thought there was supposed to be another one at the end of it.
Well, that second set should have spawned right now. The second set out of 2 should have spawned just a few minutes
to
ago.
start the second one, right?
Yeah, this is a mess.
No, the timer's running for it, but there's no targets.
I just refreshed and I don't even have the button in the
Right. It's not
on
there.
the thing. Yeah, it's gone now.
That's
Yay,
why people were asking about it.
Kicksai. Good job. Now, let's see if I can get on another one next time then. That'd be nice.
Yeah, the next one's the one you want anyway because it pays out big.
Oh, good.
That one lasts till the end, and you can wait until the store instead of, a 2-hour window in the middle of the day on Friday where
Trying to get it. Yeah. Oh, that's why everyone's got Puffin now because, I mean, look, that's actually a really good point. If the game actually wasn't trying to tie us to the motherfucking computer all the time, we wouldn't need to have Puffin on our phones just in case something happens. Because I mean, this is insane.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I had no idea that there was an expiration time. I'm glad I got mine.
That's just unreal. The fact that your clients The fact that your customers they have to be tied into the game nonstop to play the game. You're asking too much. You're asking too much. That's why it's not fun anymore. That's why you're losing people. Make it as fun as it was in 2016. People will come fucking back.
We have to put in more work than your game devs are based on the quality of your product.
Good point.
Sick burn, probably a little unfair, but do I need to cite my sources? I don't fucking think so.
Alrighty. Oh, I wanted to bring something up. I haven't worked out the. We talked about it a little bit on the Wednesday show, but because Kixeye is no longer posting bug fixes, we need to add some. We need to replace our slide. So one of the slides that we're going to replace it with is Ticket of the Week. I introduced Ticket of the Week on
Bugs
Wednesday.
How about bugs that they need to fix? That would be, apropos.
We can't fit that on one slide.
Yeah, and that's
top 3 of the week.
We don't know. Yeah. I mean, we could. Yeah, I mean, that's another good one. I mean, because we used to do screw ups and what do we even call them? It's been so long. Breakthroughs. Yeah.
That's what it was. I was thinking for a second.
Bug fixes, screw ups, and breakthroughs. But I was thinking, bugs that need to be fixed. Yeah, that's a good one. And then Ticket of the Week is basically an outrageous response, or a humorous response, something that you think the viewing community on the YouTubes would like to see,
or something completely asinine and hilarious to us. That's good too.
Guess what, people? Not only did the gold Nexuses disappear, but the bounty PvE targets all disappeared too.
Did they just pack up and say we're done?
Yeah, they're
we done fucked it up.
Watching the show.
No, you just sit there and watch somebody hit one.
Oh no, I see an 86 bandit occupied base right here. I can't find any of the 90 ones, but there's plenty of the 80s in here.
I've hit 4 towers now and haven't found a one.
I just watched somebody finish one off.
Oh, I just seen a 97. All right, so they are still around. I should probably hit a couple of them before I get off. Crap. I don't want to. This annoys me. Having to go around just to. I need to secure, so I got to hit 10 of these. That sucks. That really.
I got to hit 3 to secure, and that's why I'm looking. I still ain't found a one.
Oh, I need 12. Oh well. Maybe we'll have another 100 thing spawn, and I'll be lucky enough to get a couple then.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, it would.
I really
the other
don't
thing
like the
that
fact you pop while you're at work. Go ahead, Hefe.
Yeah, the other thing I noticed is, from somebody that hit me, it appears that a lot of people don't understand how the C-web works, or whatever you call it, as far as surfacing gluttonies. Even after it's killed and before, you're exposed to epic cat mortars, throwers, everything underneath the map. So if you see that gate with the little red dots going across it, and you have gluttonies, stay 100 away from that, or else you're in for a world of pain. Because it's a little bit complicated on the way it's written, but just stay away from it. If you have gluttonies, I know that I've seen on the forum some of the moderators that are the cheeky ones will tell you that you can take them out, but at least know how to do that before you attempt it, because otherwise you're in for hours of repair and not really doing any damage to a base. And they do work after they've been killed and after you re-enter and all that kind of stuff. The way it's worded is tricky, but just be aware of that, everybody. So We haven't heard from Raptor. Are you up there still building that wall?
Oh, I'm trying.
Okay. Yeah.
Cards Against Humanity bought some of that space too. He can't actually build it.
Let's see. Yeah.
Good Lord. We played that over Christmas, and that is just really raw.
Yeah.
It is hilarious and terrifying. Yes.
Well,
Okay, George, they're saying some users are not immediately seeing their bounty grants. If this happens, please refresh.
that was
Yeah, that's. I refreshed it, and I might have gotten it earlier and not realized it. I don't know, but oh hey, Nexus claimed. I just got that popped up,
Yep, they're
but I
back.
don't see the locator. Oh look, we already got one. Hot damn!
How do we have one if we don't know
I have
where
no
they're at?
idea.
It spawned in the same spot that you were already on.
That's possible. Highly unlikely, but possible. It's not where I'm at.
Nope, but
Yeah. YouTube chat is responding that Raptor is currently watching a YouTube video on how to build a wall.
YouTube's.
On the YouTube.
Record's posted for one.
But because he's supposed to be building the wall side.
Level 2.
He's our frontline informant on the
There we go.
1880 versions.
Oh, I try.
So you click the empty spot in your land base, and then you build a wall, and then you upgrade that wall, and then you realize it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it actually discourages me.
It's a
He gets
sad
splashed
existential
out.
wonder. It's just like, oh yeah, it blocks splash. No,
It used to.
it used to.
Or it used to say it did. Whether it actually did it or not was a whole different issue.
Exactly.
Did it used to actually block splash or just say that in the description?
I never seen it.
Unsure.
Yeah.
It blocked splash. It did. The bases became. It basically blocked the splash from getting out of the certain area until it died.
I think one of the problems too is Conqueror fleets are immensely powerful, and they are built to deal with buildings and walls, such that even if you had the equivalent of a couple million points of explosive protection based on walls, that's nothing.
No. There is an exception. The bounty prize, the boulder fish with the crusher cannon. Not great on walls.
Yeah, but I mean like sloths coming at you.
Oh yeah. Sloths will do it.
Yeah, no, that is a good point though.
But if you think boulder fist and crusher, you think we're getting through walls, don't you?
Nope.
Yeah, well, just with the names, with the descriptions.
What crusher? Where'd the crusher come from?
Crusher cannon.
That's the cannon.
The next hole.
Oh, okay.
It's the Rock Lee.
Okay.
It's the Boulder Fist.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yay!
Boulder fish.
I had one job.
Yeah, crusher as well. I mean, especially the way that she crushed.
Is the boulder fist even worth getting?
I don't think the
No.
eviscerator or the boulder fist are for the. I think they're useful for the more advanced tactical players. I don't think they're not going to be a good solution for somebody that's eking by in PvP. I think this is an advanced tactical haul the way I see it.
Not a must-have.
Well, if you're a high-end player, it might be a must-have because I think it's going to be tricky to implement. Is all I'm saying. Because it's basically all ship damage, which is tricky.
I might have to
And
take out
Daniel,
those...
could you turn off your fan?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay,
There you go.
there we go. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Daniel.
So I was gonna say that we have to brush off those siege cannon Ws that we got years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I mean, I'm not even sure what they're actually supposed to mix in there. Millennium guns, but I think it's more. You're not supposed to be running a ton of these. This is a specialist that's supposed to go in.
Snipe the fleet out.
Yeah. Once you get through the portals, because it would take you a month to get through a portal with the boulder fish with the crusher.
Mm-hmm.
So
let's see. There's some interesting combinations you could use there.
Mm-hmm.
Probably with the older cannons and stuff.
yeah, I don't know if the older cannons are going to do it.
No.
No, not with T7 holes coming up. You're gonna need a lot.
I can imagine tier 7.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, if these are 6.5, I'm wondering.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about Corey dropping. I'm going to get off now anyway, guys, because I'm a bit tired. It's quite late here. It's like morning, so I'm going to get off. Night, guys.
Night.
Night, G Daddy. Alrighty.
So yeah.
Well, we got rum now.
Yeah, Rum doesn't talk anymore. I'm assuming it's a girl spoke bad about him on TSC. So
He got picked on.
yeah. Or he's off cooking. I'm not sure which is, what's the what actually happened. But yeah, Rum hasn't been talking for.
Everybody be nice, and for his late Christmas present, everybody send him a box of tissues.
Okay.
No, he hasn't cried about it. He's just been quieter the last couple of weeks.
Maybe it's just it's just getting tired of the game. That's all.
That's possible. There's so many people that are getting that way anymore. It's sad.
Yeah.
I like the game. It just seems like you got.
I mean, once.
So if you got a full-time job, it's hard to keep up on top of it.
Once people stop complaining, that's when you should get worried, because that's when it's about to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the conversation of whether we should put a phalanxes and a countermeasure special or whatnot on our siege target ships it's interesting at this point because we haven't actually seen the target.
Mm-hmm.
But we have. Don't you see? Do you not see the 120s?
Well, potentially some of the turrets in there, but yeah, that tears up siege fleets. I mean, that's part of it. But we haven't seen like what the whole thing is. I don't know if that gives you enough on like how you're going to build it. I don't know if that's enough clue.
From what I've seen, I did a couple of those Legion targets.
Yeah,
and it does have a missile turret that you probably can counter, but I'm using Cannoneers, and it doesn't have any counters at all.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to, in that target, you have to use both skirmish and siege. I don't know if they're going to do the same thing in the raid, but
yeah.
I mean, obviously not, but they can reuse the same assets, the same turrets, the same everything.
Yeah,
the design of the turrets, the design of that is no way it's a preview.
But it looks like, for me, it looks like it might be somewhat of a preview of the target. If you just take off all the fleets and just go with just the turrets.
No, because it's too retro. I mean, it looks like.
I mean, that's what Legion is about, right?
I just don't see it as that.
Good question.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't see it as a preview, personally. I mean, I you know, like Brian said, it's an maybe that new turret that's in there is they're testing that out. But I really don't see it as a bona fide preview of the target. Allowing players to understand how to build their ships or make a decision between the Buccaneer and the Hydra. There's not enough information, and we're getting late in the game at this point to actually see what the target looks like, because we normally would see it in the VXP target, and that's come and gone a while
ago. They're keeping us in the dark, and that is not cool.
Yeah, normally this would be the point where one could make an argument for, because they haven't shown it, and because there's no reason for us to believe that a missile would ever exist in a siege target, that they wouldn't do it. That to put that in would require either mid-range refits, which are obviously incredibly unpopular, or some sort of knowledge of the target, or just extra time to build based on something that we could not possibly have known, and how that is horribly unethical, but
when did that ever stop them?
Personally, I'm doing it. I put 2 Phalanx 4s on one of my Bucks, and
nice.
I put the countermeasure loaders 4 on, so that if it turns out to be that there are no missiles, then I'm not completely screwed over for damage. And I'm going to split 1 ship each with my mathematical build, which is autoloader 3, 7 guns, and everything else, and 1 is going to have the mass augmentation Nexus and all the guns on there. So we'll see. Like, we're not even sure about that. I should have 3 ships ready with 3 completely different builds for the raid.
Any word on a flag for the Buccaneers yet, or nothing?
Wait till the raid. There's going to be one.
Yeah,
I can almost guarantee.
Yeah.
I just hit my first checkpoint for today, and guess what? It did not secure my bounty, but it did give me a chest with a 1-day structure build token in it.
Which are you on 505 or are you on the first one?
I should be on the first one because I haven't done any bounty today.
Did you have enough left over from last night to rank yourself up?
I had 6,000 points. That would have only taken me to 3.
I don't know. This whole thing's just so jacked up.
Well, it's not a big deal anyway. If you miss it, you can just get it in the next raid anyway. I mean, not a big deal.
Not worried about it.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it either.
I still think this is not going to do particularly well with the tier 7 stuff's coming in January, and every time they jump up a tier, they jump up power level drastically in PvP, especially so. PvE, it's getting a little more balanced, I want to say, but there are noticeable gaps. PvP, there's just reckless abandon.
The only way they're going to balance PvE is if they stop requiring 2 fleets to hit 2 separate targets.
Yep, they have to get rid of that. Either that, or they have to balance the targets such that you can actually use either fleet. That was the whole concept originally. This bullshit that's happening now is bullshit, and the escalation crap is bullshit.
Agreed.
Are they you know what? Every time I go in my base, I keep getting one of these feedback comment things. I think they're telling me I got to say it was good, and That's the only way I'm gonna get rid of that damn pop-up box.
Just give them a 10. Gold star. Here's your gold star for the day.
Give them a 10 and tell them it's in binary.
Yeah, that's great. It's great. Close that door, please.
Open that door up. Come on now.
No. It's like, I'm in Vermont, and it's like -3 out right now, so it's not very cool. Well, actually, it is cool, but
It is very cool.
I'd rather hot.
What are you talking about now?
Oh, now he
Oh,
wakes.
it's like -3 degrees here right now.
Uh-huh.
Did Hefe leave again?
How we doing? How's everyone doing in the bounty, and what do they want from the bounty?
I want it all.
I want it to fucking work.
I haven't even checked
That would
mine
be
yet.
nice.
I entered it and just went to work.
I just want the gun, the special, the structure build token, and the ship build token. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not interested in the ship
Well,
because we're going to have an overpowered Conqueror hull coming out
Yeah,
in January. So
exactly.
And how long is that overpowered Conqueror hull gonna last?
2 weeks until they come out with the next overpowered thing. Yeah.
Wait till the next FM content drop.
Yeah.
2 weeks. We'll probably get 2 weeks out of it. That's
Yeah.
about what we're averaging.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, I'm gonna bounce. It's we're half past, and I can't hang around too much longer. I gotta go eat. So have a good night, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the show. I will see you guys next week.
Take care,
Happy
man.
New Year.
All right,
Yeah, Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year, guys.
Yeah. Bye.
Oh yeah. Oh man, this weekend's gonna be fun. I'm gonna log on. I'm gonna see all those offers, all those gold sales that they're gonna do to try to drive up revenue in the last, couple days of the year,
Yep.
assuming their calendar year.
Some rages.
No, not the raging necessarily. Well, they might sell rages, or try to.
You think
but-
we might see the half golds again?
that worked.
Ever again?
That worked too good, so they won't do that anymore.
They've been doing about a third off gold.
Yeah, that's mainly what.
The half off, I think, was too successful.
Yeah, I think so.
I missed the 100 gold for Christmas.
Yeah, well, they haven't
Oh,
given.
I never did that again.
I missed it too.
People were complaining about everyone getting 100 gold.
Oh, jeez. Complaining about getting something for free. That's just bad.
That's the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, they complain about everything.
Yeah.
Wait, I was out for a second. Complaining about getting 100 gold?
Yeah, I know. Who complains about that? I was going to say.
No, I'm like, oh, why do people get 100 gold? Those motherfuckers. No, I'm just curious why they got it.
Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Years ago, Christmas.
Some people still have that 100 gold.
I still have that 100 gold.
Some people don't have that 100 gold because they just put that 100 gold on today. So, still got it.
Okay, you're talking years. Well, I remember back in, I think Ren's still there. We got, before the beta ended, or the closed beta ended, we got 1,000 gold.
Oh, man, that'd be
Wow.
awesome. That would be awesome. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I remember
you couldn't even buy gold at that point in the game.
Yeah.
when you go to the preview server, you get like 100,000 golds or something like that.
80,000 most of the time, but yeah, it's,
80,000.
It'd be nice.
but it doesn't stay. It's I don't even know what to call it. Dream gold, or
It's just funny money.
Mhm.
Dirty money.
Funny money.
Yeah. It's Monopoly money.
Isn't it all Monopoly money? Like,
Yeah, well, except for
That too.
it's yeah. I mean, it's sort of all. It is potentially all monopoly money, but you know, inside the game, you know, the preview server money is, you know,
Real money.
it goes away really quickly.
Do they actually do that still? Like, do they have like the
Preview servers? Nope. I haven't seen a preview server in a long
I
time.
was
Yeah.
just gonna say, like, I've not gotten anything from that.
Since
I haven't seen
They
it.
don't have, from what I've seen, they don't have open preview servers anymore.
Yeah.
So
Okay. That's
Yeah,
they have the
yeah,
closed ones.
they've been running some closed ones, but nobody's allowed to talk about it that are getting in. So
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So
We might learn how to game the target too early.
that's how the rumor slipped out about there might be a missile in the new siege target.
We might have to correct them on
That's
their own
messed up.
definition of their own target types.
That's messed up.
Before the 115 thing happens again.
They might put ships in the siege target now.
yeah,
That,
They're gonna put
that would
really,
be a thing.
put really fast Apollos, like they put in the garrison target.
Yeah, they'll
Mhm.
put one of those always in. Then you'll be really glad that you had those phalanx on.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, except for you needed to have like 30 phalanxes to stop those.
Yep.
That was the only issue.
Yeah.
Well, not the only issue. There was a lot of issues, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, why do they do stuff like that? Because a lot of people quit over that.
Hey.
I mean, are they
Because-
trying to get rid of anybody to ask any questions?
Because
And-
they're basically incompetent. Like, well, okay, the actual answer is a lot of time when a new hire comes on, they won't understand what came before them, the history of the game. And that record of design best practices within the company isn't often kept.
Mhm.
Like when it was posted on the forum that, oh, the 115 changed and you're so upset, why? What is that? Like, it is entirely possible. And I think this is actually the case that I believe it was GDA who posted that, but I can't be sure. I don't remember. That GDA honestly just did not know that garrison meant that most of the damage was done by turrets and that the ships would either be slow moving or completely still. He had to go with what he was given. And so these designs and these thoughts aren't passed down. And when you have to do that in a yearly cycle, that's really necessary. You really need to have it go through the crew as the new guys come on. BRB dinner. Bye.
Yeah. They need to keep like an old wizened person in there the whole time. They can't be swapping him over to War Commander and then have him come back. They need to have somebody that's, because I haven't seen anything out of Paul Priest in a long time. So, yeah, I don't know who they still have that's from the development team. I'm sure, maybe people from different teams are still around. We know it's not CM, and it doesn't appear to be that way in the design team. I mean, there could be people in the design team that just never show their face, but yeah, it is a little bit interesting. So, even though I'm talking to Brian, and it seems like he dropped off right after he said that.
I think he
But
said he was going to dinner.
alrighty, yeah, we have a couple empty spots. In case anybody would like to join, I think we're going to progress quickly to the after show at this point. Unless anybody has any, the summary of the show, I think is,
The YouTube.
they sort of screw it. Yeah, the YouTube. The YouTube has taught us that we got, that they're changing the 115 wherever they want and not telling us when they do it. Generally build the hull, build the Buccaneer. And just hope, well, it can go either way. I mean, I'm just wondering if they're going to release this TLC for the Hydra next month, and we'll have 30 days worth of, what's the average? You could have significant build tokens for the Hydra that you don't have for the Buccaneer. And so therefore, you might actually be at an advantage, depending on your random luck and when that drops again. Yeah. In the banner competition, you know, as seen on the YouTubes, #1 on the YouTubes, all sorts of possibilities for the banner. And so, does anybody else have any?
Someone needs to find a gif of blowing butterflies up Kick Size ass.
Yeah. Yeah, Lady Cat's acting as this is random as the FM tokens. I know people that were getting, if you ask Rum, he would say it's the same kind of random, where he's only getting 1 per. But other people have been getting, historically, when they do this, when they did it with this as skirmish tokens or hunter tokens, Rum was the only one that was getting 1 of each. Out of
and Mike.
Yeah.
What?
Mike I got crap all.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Except for Corey, he also gets the 9 days worth of tokens in the FM all the time. So
yeah, I've never gotten more than a 2 and a 1 out of that.
That's all I've ever gotten is a 2 and a 1.
I think we need to farm Corey space.
Yeah, we need to figure out what Corey's up to in order to, figure out what his technique is for getting 9 days worth of tokens. So maybe we'll do a special show because I don't think TFC is doing a show tomorrow. So maybe we'll do a special show with special guest Corey.
Chest opening.
Yeah. How to get 9 days worth of tokens out of your chest. I bet a lot of people would sign up and watch that show, but we have to get Corey to agree. But as you see, Corey's not a big talker on the show, so
come on, Corey. Corey, talk. There he is.
Sounds like he's talking to a dog. Corey, sit.
Yes, which is interesting because this is like it was Corey Hames and Corey. What was the other one?
Feldman.
Yeah. Well, because Raptor's also Corey, so it's
Now we got a band name 3 Corey.
One has an E and one doesn't.
Yeah. This is the
one's potty trained, one's not.
Oh, that's just
you can only have to guess which one is.
Nice.
That'll also be part of the show. But unless anybody has anything else they'd like to add, I guess we could progress to the after show.
I just want to wish all the people that watched the show and that's watched it all year, thank you for watching us all year, and wish y'all a happy new year. And remember, if you've missed any of these shows, you can always go to the YouTube and catch it.
Very good. Yes. Yeah, we're always available on the YouTube. And I guess we'll see you Friday. Yeah, there's no problem that we should be on the Wednesday show as long as they have an update. And,
tomorrow.
That's
what?
next year.
Let's just throw together an open mic.
That's next year. It's also next week. It's also a couple days.
All those funny jokes.
Yeah.
Open mic to start the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
we'll have a open.
There's football games on Monday.
Okay.
Important ones.
Yeah, we'll have Daniel on to review all the important college football games, all the bowl games. We'll have Daniel. Maybe we'll do a show beforehand with Daniel picking games. Against the
Georgia.
Yeah, against the spread.
Go Hurricanes.
Yeah. Because you've seen that thing they do on ESPN where they have the robot picking it, and then the sort of the Vegas Insider, and then they have a baby picking like pillows with the names of the band or names of the teams.
Mm-hmm.
And right now,
what am I supposed to be?
Well, the baby is winning at this point. That is just picking the pillow that he likes the best. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we could also have Daniel doing the show eating leather shoe bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a well done steak.
Okay. Well done steak. Yes.
Well done steak. So yeah, it could be the A1 sauce show. So
Oh my God!
yeah,
Now you're getting criminal.
yeah.
That's funny shit.
Yeah. So everybody have a happy New Year, and you're welcome. I'll put the link one more time. Just the Happy New Year's, just in case we don't have the Corey show where we learn how to get 9 days worth of tokens in the FM, which might be worth interrupting. We may even do that Sunday. It might be worth interrupting. It might be worth interrupting your New Year's Eve celebration to figure out how to get extra 6 days worth of tokens. So, but again, have a happy New Year, everybody, and join the after show if you'd like. And thanks for showing up.
Stay
Happy New Year,
fresh.
and everybody stay safe.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Stay fresh.
Happy New Year.